Hello and welcome to Hadoop Exam Learning Resources. Today I am going to announce that our new training about Amazon Web Service networking in depth. In this training, we are having hands-on session as well as concept-based training. So what you have to do, you just go to hadoopexam.com. This is our home page. Click on the Amazon Web Service here on this link. And in this you would go over here. So this is the link for this networking training. You click over here. This page would be launched. So this training is useful not only for network specialty exam, but there are other certification which very frequently ask networking related questions. So one of the example is Amazon Web Service Solution Architect, whether it's an associate level or professional level. Almost 30% question you would see in the certification exam which are based on the networking. Then AWS Security Specialty, how would you make your network secure? So as part of this training, we would be learning all these concepts. So there are total 19 concept based module and as well as 8 sub-project hands-on session. Okay, so this is we would be covering. So this is the entire syllabus of this training which we are covering. So you can see we have in between project as well. So there are 8 sub projects we have created as part of this training. So you can get the downloadable PDF which we are using as part of this training, as well as the access to the material to do the hands-on exercises for the Amazon Web Service. So let's start the module and then we will discuss about the further thing later on at the end of this session. Okay, so I'm stopping now and starting the hello. Even before starting the video, I'll want to go through this actually first thing, release and updates. This is the page which you should regularly check what recent releases have been done by the hadoopexam.com, and you can see like today 16 Feb we have released this training, so we have listing here. So I would recommend always come over here, check this page and what release happens. And one other important thing, whether you have subscribed any product from Hadoop Exam or not does not matter. You can just subscribe this Google group, and once you subscribe this Google group, you will be getting the alerts in your inbox regarding the any updates with the certification related real certification exam which is happening. So if we do have any update, because we have a lot of resources which are appearing in the certification, they provide us the feedback, so we can send this alert to you as well. It doesn't matter whether you have subscribed us or not. Okay, and any product we launch, that is also you would get information about this, and any new information related to this technology which we are providing solution as learning solution as of now, you would get the updates related to that. So that is very important. You join this Google group. This is very critical whether you have subscribed it or not. So let's start the training now. Hello and welcome back to AWS Networking in-depth training. In this session, we would be discussing IP ranges as well as the VPC introduction. Okay, virtual private cloud from the AWS. So this is very important again. So public IP range. What exactly? There are two types of ranges possible. One is a public IP range, another is a private IP range. Public IP range, using public IP addresses means they are routable to the internet. So if you are talking about the public IP, it means from that IP you can connect to the internet without doing any additional stuff kind of thing, and directly you can connect to the internet. So that is known as the public IP addresses. So here in the example you can see in the diagram, this public IP can communicate to the internet. IPv4, we have limited number of globally unique IP addresses, as we have discussed. Around 4.3 billion IP addresses are available, and out of which we cannot use all 4.3 billion IP addresses as a public purpose. So because there are trillions of devices and everybody needs an IP address, so this is not a right way. So to assign individual IP to each device, hence there is not enough IP address. It was realized in 1990s we need to reserve some IP addresses so that they all are not exhausted. So what we did is actually, not I did, okay, so some researchers have done. So this is out of 4.3 billion IPs, some ranges have been reserved and other are open to use. So this is public to use everybody. So these are public IP. The reserved IP addresses are known as a private IP addresses. They have special purpose to solve something, correct? So this is private IP address and this is public IP addresses. Okay, so the IP addresses which are reserved are known as a private IP address as per the RFC. Okay, 1918. This is AWS networking specialty exam also mentioned. You should know this stuff. Okay, so RFC 1918 have decided few of the CIDR blocks are considered as a private IP addresses and would not be available to use as a public IP address. So these are the range. You need to memorize it. Okay, 10/8. The best way to remember is 10/8. This is one option. Is another option is 172.16/16. Oh, sorry, 12. Sorry, this is 12. And the next one is 192.168/16. So these three range of IPs are reserved IP address. So this is like huge number of IPs. If you see, this is more than like it's a huge range. Okay, and this is also another huge range of IP address, and this is another huge range of IP address. So this is the reserved IP addresses, which is known as a private IP address. So okay, I'll tell you later. Memorize this three IP ranges. So above private ranges, these private network will not be directly routed to and from the internet. So suppose if you are using any IP address in your network, they cannot directly reach to the internet. Okay, this is your internet. Okay, so this is directly is not reachable. You have to do some provision in between, which we will learn later, to reach private IP addresses to the internet. Obviously we need this to be done, so we need to do some provision for doing such stuff. Okay, so this is how. So this private IP addresses are not usable in the public address space. These are the private and remain private. So what exactly I mean here, suppose this is your data center. Okay, this is your data center. In this you have network of systems like this. Why do you want somebody to connect to this infrastructure directly from internet? So you don't want this, correct? You want to secure your environment. What you would do, you create a private network. So this is a private network. What does it mean? The IP addresses assigned to the system in this network are one of this range, from one of this range. So if some another company has another data center, their own data center, they have their own machines, network of machines, correct? They can also use whatever the private IP address range you have used. They can also use it, because anyway these two organizations are not going to communicate with each other. This is like some another company in United States, this is another company and somewhere China. Obviously they can, there is requirement, they sometimes wanted to talk to each other, their network wanted to talk to each other, so that is doable. But if their IP range and their IP range is same, then communication between these two data center is still difficult. Okay, but this point here is private IP address range this data center is using can also use as third data centers, which is like some other third company. They can also use this same private IP address range which these two guys are using. So everybody has it. So that's the way we are reserving the private address space, which is limited to this region, that region only. So everybody, so this is reusable. Private IP addresses are reusable internally in your network, but public IP address, once it is assigned to one system, public IP, this cannot be reused. Nobody else can use this IP address, okay, other than this system. So that's the reason this is not true. So IPv4 we have discussed is limited to 4.3 billion. Every device cannot have it, but there is a way using the private IP address you can duplicate the IP addresses across different private networks. So these are the private networks. Okay, these are the private network. This is also private network. This is also private network. So I have internally whatever my system has IP addresses. These are my internal IP addresses. These are my internal IP addresses. They can have the same IP address. This machine, here, this three machine could have same IP address. Anyway, they are not going to communicate with each other, so that doesn't matter for them. So that is fine. So private IP addresses are to create the logically separated network, and across different private network you can have a same IP address range. It is possible. So that's way we can accommodate all the IPv4 addresses with the new system as well. So that's the reason whenever you buy a network connection from your ISP or all, they are always providing your IPv4 address as well, correct? You are thinking of it is limited, how I'm getting this, but still this is available because they are creating the private IP network for you, and that private network can communicate with the internet. There is some provision we need to do that, and that is doable. So it's still possible because you have taken the internet connection, you are having private IP address, then how can I communicate to internet? So it is possible, you can communicate with the internet as well. So now let's remember this, these are all private network, correct? So now next thing is private IP range cannot communicate with the internet as directly until and unless we do some provisioning in between over here. Okay, like we need to do some provisioning in between this here, like this. Every office has private office IP range based on number of IP required. Suppose I need 65,000 IP, so I would be using 10.0.0.0/16. This is private IP range. I can use that private IP range, correct? Like if you remember the private IP range, we had a something like the 10.2. This one, correct? So if I need like whatever as you say 65,000 IPs, 10.0.0.0/16, this is private network. I can create this range and use it. So this can give me the 65,000 plus sys IP addresses for my network. Machine in private network can reach to internet via the net devices, network address translation. Okay, that is one way. Another is a proxy server. There are multiple things you need to do. Based on this, you would certainly get a question in certification exam, either in solution architect, associate, professional, networking exam, and security exam. But this is not plain setup. Okay, you need to do much more stuff, but network address translation is one way of getting the internet connection. Another is a proxy server. So we have not yet learned how to do this. So the question is based on how to do this. In the exam you will get it, so we need to learn this later on. But your private network can reach the internet. One of the option is network address translation and proxy server. So what exactly network address translation? Network address translation means this is your private IP which goes to network address translation and get the public IP and communicate with the internet. This is one way I'm talking about it, and you get the response and you receive the response. So this is one way. Another way is proxy server. Okay, another way is internet gateway plus net. Okay, so we'll all discuss about this. So based on this, you would be getting question in the certification exam for sure. Okay, so you just need to remember this. Net proxy server, which can translate your private IP address into public IP address. That's what I have drawn here. AWS VPC. Now the next important thing is a virtual private cloud. This is like when you work with the networking, most of the time, 99% time you would be working with the virtual private cloud in AWS. Okay, so virtual private cloud can be a private network or public network. You can define it. Okay, so this is virtual private cloud. What you can say, it cannot be a completely public. Okay, so when you create a virtual private cloud in AWS, okay, so this is your AWS region. Okay, so this two users, like this is first user, this is second user. You create one VPC in it. Okay, this user also create VPC in it. So this is VPC1, this is VPC2. These two are isolated network. This is completely isolated network. Until and unless you define it or somebody from your network team says, I want to establish connection between these two VPC, then only it is doable, and otherwise by default it is a private network for your account in a region. Okay, so this is one region, AWS region, and in this region for per account you could create one VPC, more than one VPC. Obviously you can create it. Okay, so that is possible, more than one VPC you can create it. These are the logically separated network in that you can create your system like network and attach the private IP addresses to each system. Okay, this private IP. So the range we have learned in the previously, which would be used by when you create the VPC in the AWS. So private IP ranges would be created over here. Now VPC, people say it can be a public VPC, it can be a private VPC, but it's like the range of IP addresses it get is private IP addresses. When we say it's a public VPC, when system in the VPC can reach to internet, then that would become your public VPC. There is no flag in the AWS world which says mark this VPC as a public. No, this is not there. Any system which is in your VPC can reach to internet, then it would become a public VPC. If no system is reaching directly to internet, then directly, I mean, it can still reach, but not directly. Okay, so something workaround is there. We'll go in depth again, but that is private network. Okay, so but these are isolated VPC. Okay, so public network, public subnet. So now subnet. This is my reason, correct, in AWS. This is my reason. In that reason, I could have what you can say. Sorry, this is, let's say, two availability zones, AZ1 and AZ2. I can create a VPC which is across two availability zone. This is VPC 1, okay, which is possible across availability zone. Okay, I can create it, but not across the region. I cannot create VPC which is like, let's say this is another region in AWS. I cannot create a VPC across the region. It can be only availability zone across availability. In that VPC, I can create a subnet. A subnet also limited to availability zone. A subnet cannot cross the boundary of availability zone. Okay, so here this one subnet you would be creating, here another subnet you would be creating. You could create multiple subnet in a VPC, okay, but these are limited to one availability zone. So whatever subnet you would be creating, you need to specify, or by default it will take one of the availability zone and create subnet in it. So there are 4 subnet, correct, but these 2 subnets are in availability zone 1 and these 2 subnets are in availability zone 2. They cannot cross the boundary. That is what you have to remember. Now subnet can be a public subnet or a private subnet. Again, there is no flag to mark this subnet as a public or private. No, there's again the concept is same. If any system from this subnet can reach to internet, then it would become a public subnet. If that cannot reach directly to internet, then it's a private subnet. Okay, so what you have learned here, important concept for AWS certification associate level at least. Okay, or VPC can be a only in a region. Across region VPC is not possible. Across availability zone as a VPC is possible. Subnet cannot cross this availability zone boundary. You can have more than one subnet in a VPC. Subnet can be a public or private. If a system in a subnet can reach to internet, then it's a public subnet. If system in the subnet cannot directly reach to the internet, then it's a private subnet. So these 3 things. So you have to remember. So whenever you decide you need to launch an EC2 instance, you first need what? A VPC. You need to have VPC, and in the VPC you would be having a subnet. You need to have a subnet. Without subnet you cannot launch your EC2 instance, whether it's a private subnet you decided or it's a public subnet, it's up to you. And in that subnet you would be launching the EC2 instance. Okay, that is what you have to remember. So private subnets can have the IP ranges. This IP ranges we have discussed: 10/8, 172.16/12, 192.168/16. Okay, so these are the private IP address. So private subnet would have IP addresses from this range only. Virtual private cloud is made of both public and private network, logically isolated network, as we have discussed. So let's see, this is an example. This 2 company, one is Acmeshell Inc. and another is a Quicktechie Inc. They are in the same AWS region. Okay, this 2 company have created 2 VPC. Okay, this is the VPC it has created, and this is the VPC it has created in AWS region. Okay, so these two VPC here. Okay, both these networks are in AWS but are separated, as we have discussed. Until and unless proper provisioning are done, they cannot communicate with each other. Until and unless it is defined, VPC cannot initially connect to internet or outside world. This is because of security first principle. So that is what you have to know. Now let's understand the default VPC. As soon as you create an AWS account, you would get a default VPC created in each region for you. Suppose you have, like Amazon has a, let's assume, lot of reasons. Okay, I don't want to mention right now, but let's assume 3 reasons are there in the AWS. Okay, this is reason 1, this is reason 2, this is reason 3. Okay, these 3 reasons. So as soon as you log into AWS console first time and create an account, by default a VPC would be created in each region for you, because VPC are specific to region and specific to account. Okay, so these 3 reasons. So for every reason you would always get a default VPC created. That's the reason you do, because when you launch a website or something using on the EC2 instance, you don't have to come across with lot of networking things to be done for you. You can simply launch your EC2 instance and set up Joomla website, whatever you can say, WordPress website or static HTML, whatever you want it, you set it up, and you can use this EC2 server as your hosting for your website. Okay, this is doable. Okay, just simply because you are using default VPC. Okay, now as soon as you create an AWS account, then in each region one default VPC available for you. VPC and region, this you need to remember for certification. A VPC cannot cross the region. A VPC can be across availability zone. Having VPC across the region helps in getting this mistake here. This having VPC across availability zone helps in getting high availability, fault tolerance, because if my one entire data center goes down, still my one of the availability zone VPC is available. We'll discuss this stuff later on, but you can have across availability zone. One availability zone is equal to one data center. Okay, so in a region we have 3 availability zones, so 3 data center. One data center entirely goes down, still my system is available. It can save you even entire data center is down. So let's say this is my AWS region with A, B and C 3 availability zone. This all 3 availability zones are connected with each other with the low latency, high speed private network between them. They are not using the internet. This is the private connection between each availability zone created by AWS. So these availability zones are connected with each other. That's the reason you create a VPC across availability zone. They can communicate with each other still, okay, using this private network between this availability zone. So availability zone is equal to one data center. Without having VPC, you cannot have your application on EC2 instance. So you must have to have VPC, because default VPC is always available, so you don't have to worry. VPC peering, it is possible the instances launched in the VPC1 can communicate with VPC2, but you have to create a VPC peering, or some other way you would be creating VPN connection or something. So VPC peering is one way of communication between two virtual private cloud. Connecting VPC with one another is known as a VPC peering. So this concept we will learn in depth as we move ahead. Okay, so EC2 instances, different VPC. Okay, so this 2 instances, this VPC1 and in VPC2, they can communicate using the VPC peering with each other. So concept for AWS certification solution architect associate level exam, remember this, you can communicate between 2 VPC using the VPC peering. You have to create VPC peering. They would not ask that straightforward question, but they would give some scenario, but you have to remember to mitigate few of the wrong options in the given question. So in AWS certification, we have seen most of the time the options are so plausible, you have to mitigate the options which may not be correct and then come to the final correct solution. Until and unless you are highly expert in the AWS services, it is difficult for you to find the correct answer. They design questions such intelligent way, like I really appreciate that stuff, because it makes you confusing all the time. Like you see to be either every option seems to be correct in question and answer, until unless you have a knowledge with the AWS setting. So EC2 instances across VPC can communicate with each other using VPC peering. One VPN connection you can also create it. There are other options as well which we would discuss. So VPC and corporate network, if I wanted to connect my corporate data center with the VPC, then I can do this. Network can be established using the via VPN, or direct connect connection is also another option. So direct connection is a actual hardware connection between your data centers and VPC would be established. In a VPN, it could be virtual as well as a hardware possible, is correct. So this is what you need to understand. So you can extend your corporate data center to VPC using the VPN or direct connect network. Okay, so these two options, again for certification perspective, direct connect is another option and another option is a VPN. Okay, these two options are available to extend your data centers. Okay, how we can do and kind of thing you need to learn in depth, which we would be doing in later session. Soft limits, you need to understand limits in the AWS world. There are some soft limits. Soft limit means like if you want to get more things to be done, you just send an email to support team or raise a ticket to support team. They would increase the limit for you based on some criteria. They would check it and they increase the limit. Okay, so that's a soft limit. And hard limit is like Amazon cannot increase that limit even you require. So that is a hard limit. So VPC has a soft limit. You can create 5 VPC per region. Okay, at the most you can have 200 subnets per VPC. In a VPC you can create up to 200 subnets per VPC. Okay, overlapping VPC constraint, we can create multiple VPC in same region or a different region. If we wanted to communicate between these two VPC, VPC1 and VPC2, both are having overlapping IP ranges. Here you can see 10.0, 10.2/16, 10.2/21. So this is not possible to communicate between these two VPC. Even being in the same region, they cannot communicate with each other because the IP address of this VPC and IP address range of this VPC are overlapping. So avoid doing this. That's the reason proper architecting is required when you do the networking as well. You need to understand the IP addresses of your corporate data center. Suppose you want to connect your VPC. Okay, let's say this is your VPC you created in AWS, and this VPC you wanted to get communicated with your data centers. Okay, this is your data center. And IP range, when you define the VPC, make sure the IP range whatever is being used this corporate data center, while defining the VPC, you won't create the VPC with this IP range. Otherwise you would not be able to communicate between your corporate centers and VPC, correct. So this communication would not be possible. So avoid and always know in advance from which network you are going to communicate, so that direct connections between these two networks is not easily possible if they overlap the IP addresses. Here in the VPC3, which has a different IP range, which can communicate with either of this VPC, okay, or both the VPC, because the IP range in VPC3 is different than IP range of VPC1 and 2. So this is possible. With the overlapping IP addresses, their two VPC cannot be peered. It is always recommended for different environment you create a different VPC. Okay, that point is different. So you need to remember overlapping IP should not be there when we wanted to. So you can segregate your VPC, like the purpose, why would you want to create more than one VPC? That depends. Like for each and every environment I wanted to have a different VPC, different network. Like testing, I don't want to communicate with the production environment, so I'll create it. Like let's say while testing, I'm doing some testing on my network, correct, some testing and some big work I'm doing it, and these are my production servers, correct. By default or by mistake, I don't want to get connected between these two. So that's the reason I would create VPC for testing and VPC for production. Similarly, VPC for development I would create. That is one thing we would be doing here. So that's the reason we may need to different VPC created. So another reason is what you can say, functional basis. Like this is my HR department, this is my finance department, this is my IT department. I don't want this all network should be communicated with each other. So that's the reason I would create a different VPC. Okay, functional basis, that is what we have discussed. Okay, so now, okay, so this is like my not functional, what you can say, IT functional basis. Like database server in a different VPC I wanted to put it, applications in a different VPC I wanted to put it, but this is a shared database for both the applications. So why not to have a VPC peering created between these two, and I can use this VPC, shared VPC between these two. So that is the one reason we would be having like different VPC created. So that is possible, and we need to create a VPC peering to communicate with this department basis. We have already discussed. These are all are optional and you can make your choices. Okay, so based on that you can decide it. So importance of the IP range in VPC. If you want your application to auto scale, then you must have those many IP addresses in VPC, as you would not be auto scale. So very important concept you need to learn. Suppose, let's say you have an defined let's say 10.0.0.0/20. This is the minimum possible range for your network, so which can provide you 2 raised to power 4 16 distinct IP. 5 is reserved by Amazon, so you will get 11 IPs, correct? Now you are deploying one web application in this VPC. Okay, in this VPC, has a possibility to scale up to 11 system. Okay, now this is your EC2 instances, which serves the internet traffic, your elastic load balancer, which do the auto scaling for your systems, correct? And this is the internet from where you are getting the traffic. This is the traffic you are getting from the internet. This is the elastic load balancer. Now as your traffic increases, you need to auto scale the systems. So initially you would having only 2 systems. Now traffic increases, let's create a 4 system, so I can handle the system. Now there seems to be a DDoS attack on your website, which is like huge number of requests are coming. You don't want your application to get shut down, okay? So would be impacted. You want to auto scale. You would add 2 more machines in the network. Okay, still I can accommodate. Still the traffic is increasing. I need more 4 machines. How many machines now total? Here you can see 10 machines are there. Still I have 11 IPs. Okay, then it's good. In this network I can accommodate this 11 machine. Okay, now still load is increasing on my machine. I need another 3 machines to be launched in this VPC. This is done, this is done, this failed because I don't have an IP to be assigned. So whenever you design your network, you remember how you're designing your network, number of IPs are required to auto scale your system. You need to accordingly accommodate your IP ranges. Okay, that is the important point for the certification perspective as well as your network design you need to understand. So provisioning VPC with 24 IPs at the max, you can application can scale up to 24 EC2 instance, 24 minus 5 even 19 EC2 instance. No overlap. Make sure your IP addresses do not overlap across the VPC or even your corporate network. If you want to have communication channel between this in place. Okay, okay, I'll stop now and we'll discuss the subnets points later on, okay, in the next session. So thanks for watching, and I hope you like this session. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe it. Similar sessions we will be launching on the AWS as soon as possible. So in-depth discussion of each topic with the certification perspective, as well as we would be having a project as well doing. So this is the training part of our actual full-length training available on the hadoopexam.com. So just go to the hadoopexam.com. This is the website of hadoopexam.com, where you can just go to the Amazon AWS and you can see all the available product, whether it's a certification, whether it's a training, whether it's an ebook, whether it's an interview question. These are all materials is available here. There are currently 11 products, okay, so which you can subscribe it. We are keep adding the products to our this Amazon certification world or Amazon web service, correct? So this is a huge component to be learned. Okay, so this is like you cannot learn in 2-3 days training or something, 4-5 days training or something. You need to have a good amount of time spent with the Amazon web services to learn in depth every concept. Thanks for watching. I'm stopping now. So now you have seen our first module from the AWS networking training. Similar session we have created for this training, so you can go through all this session and you can learn about the in-depth concept about the networking. And there are various products like which include as part of our premium subscription as well. So you can just click on the this premium subscription button and you can see this is like various subscription model also we are coming up. Like people wanted to access more than one product kind of thing, and they wanted to have some limited time access or kind of thing. So these are the various subscription model we have created, which is more affordable and more material would be accessed. You just click on this and you can start learning on the stuff. So this is our certification preparation material. This is our project which we are just going to launch by tomorrow onwards. So this is the project about Amazon Web Service. So the entire project would be created over here and you can access this project. And these are the various on-demand training you can see here. These are the ebooks which we are launching. We have already launched it and you can just click over here and you can start learning. Click on it, it would be launched in a separate page. Similarly, interview preparation. This is very critical part for the people who wanted to grow in their career or looking for the job or something kind of thing. So various interview questions. So these are not 10-20 interview questions we are providing. We have creating entire ebook for preparing for the interview, and this ebook may include audio question and answer as well. Like this book, you can see this include video cum audio book as well in this. Similarly for Cassandra. So these are interview preparation material we are also including. So interview preparation material does not include only interview question and answer. The other stuff maybe like explaining how to appear in interview, what HR question would be asking, kind of thing. This thing also we would be including as part of this material. So go through this entire material. I hope this would be helpful for you. Thanks for watching, and I hope you like this all stuff. And please help us providing your feedback as well at hadoopexam@gmail.com. You can send an email, any of this email ID. And if you have any questions, then please drop an email, or if your team in your company, you want to make your team to be learn this stuff like cloud computing, big data, machine learning, data science. So these are all the product listed on this page. You can check this page, and if you have any question, drop us an email. If you want to subscribe in the group, so you can drop an email. We would provide some discount kind of thing, or various organization already building their team with using this product. So this would help us to help you to like build a team working environment kind of thing. So you could have your perpetual license as well for this subscription. So thanks, I'm stopping now.